All right, welcome back to another episode of Small Bias Podcast. Today we are doing a rewind/review on The Social Network, 2010 David Fincher film. As Harvard student Mark Zuckerberg creates a social networking site that would become known as Facebook, he is sued by the Winklevoss twins, who claimed he stole their idea, and by the co-founder, who was later squeezed out of the business. This movie is a Sony Pictures Entertainment movie. Grossed $96.9 million in the US. It's PG-13. It came out worldwide October 1st in 2010, and it's got a 96% critic score and an 87% audience score. We are without Brian today, so this one should be a good episode. So
Brian is busy building the Facebook too.
Yeah.
Yes. He is the Winklevoss twins.
And here's me.
He's busy stalking on Facebook.
Violin.
So what do you guys think?
Name? Winklevoss?
I mean, I really wish that they would have like cut into Mark Zuckerberg and like see if he was leaking motor oil or bleeding green like an alien.
Why didn't we get to see him plug into the wall and charge?
In real life, that motherfucker is weird though, in all honesty.
Oh yeah. So that's the other thing. That's what I want to get off to. Like, that's a strong start. Is that
pause? Get off to.
What?
What do you mean by? What do you mean by that?
What's that actor's name? Jesse
Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg makes Mark Zuckerberg look like a badass, kind of.
Yeah. So
he makes him look a lot nicer.
He makes him look a lot cooler than he actually is. I mean, yeah, I would love to sit down and meet Mark Zuckerberg, but I would never go out of my way to go meet him.
This is how that conversation would go. I am Mark Zuckerberg. Nice to meet you.
You ask him a bunch of questions, you're gonna start fucking malfunctioning.
So originally, Andrew Garfield auditioned for Mark Zuckerberg. Yep, but they said no because it'd be hard for him to like he looks like he's a guy who wears a heart on his sleeve, and it wouldn't work to be Zuck. So
the casters are like Andrew Garfield, like
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg, like this guy looks like a fucking nerd. Like,
Yeah.
When did the Amazing Spider-Man come out?
it's 2012, so it's 2 years after this movie.
Oh,
So he got casted right after this.
Do you think this helped him with that?
Well, yes, because this movie
Yeah,
was a
it's
Sony
really good.
movie, and so were the Spider-Man movies. So I think so. I thought about
Yeah,
that too, Mike.
that's why I asked, because they're both Sony.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, this is like one of his, if not the best performance from Andrew Garfield, is this film alone.
Well, he's been nominated
Gotta
for
put him on the
movies
map.
that he's been in, like Hacksaw Ridge. He's really good in
Yeah.
that.
He just won something for
Yeah, that thing on Netflix.
I don't know if it was that. I know it was something else. I think it
I
was.
think
a
it
movie.
was.
I don't know. Let's
Pretty
pull it
sure.
up.
I forget what that movie is called.
Regardless, though, Andrew Garfield, I fucking
He's a
love
good
Andrew
ass actor.
Garfield.
I really
No,
liked Justin Timberlake as Sean Parker.
Yeah,
That's what, like, I mean, the cast in this is just perfect.
it
It
is.
is
That's
really
fair.
good.
Whether it be, the antagonist, and they even have Brenda's song in it.
I know, bro.
I forget about that until I watch it every time.
Wait.
Dude,
Who-
I knew I recognized her, bro.
Yeah.
Aiden,
When I
from
seen
your
the
point of
cast-
view, who's the antagonist in this movie?
Probably Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, I was gonna
I'd
say.
It
agree.
is. I mean, it's not really. Like,
I'd agree. I didn't know
you
if
could
you meant the
definitely
twins
say
when
that
you
he's
said
the
that.
villain.
He's Zuck,
Okay.
Like,
his
you could,
boy.
like, yeah, if this was like a movie where we're pointing fingers and stuff, he's definitely the villain.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
know.
it's,
I would say Justin Timberlake's character, Sean.
Well, yeah, but he's kind of an antagonist to his own creation, his own idea, where everyone's in there just trying to. Get a
honestly,
hand in the
bro,
pot
hey,
and
No,
benefit.
break that down for me. What the fuck do you mean by that, actually? Antagonist to his own creation. What the fuck does that mean?
Yes. So look, they have a group of, how many was it off rip? It was 3 or 4 individuals, but you could just say it was him and Andrew Garfield's character.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and two
there's one of
programmers.
Which
So
obviously
it's-
they
yeah.
fluff it. It gets, like we said, Netflix, but this is obviously, it's adapted to film. So not
Yeah.
everything happens, not everything's realistic. But
Obviously.
Yeah.
But no, his idea is that he's going to create Facebook. Everyone's in there. There's a group of guys, say this podcast. We're all in there trying to benefit from each other, but one of us could just be like, no, this is for myself, and you don't want anyone's input. You don't want anything that.
Small guy.
Yeah, so you're the small guy from the small guy.
I own 51% of the stock.
And that's why that's like how he's the antagonist to his own creation, which is Facebook.
Yeah.
Everyone's trying to help him to make this thing to what he pictures it, but he already knows from the start when he started it that he's the only one that's going to be having his hands on it.
Aiden,
Yeah.
after that dumbass explanation, we're gonna dilute all of your stock in small guys, man. That's that does not
Here
make
for my
fucking
lawyers.
sense. That's just
I'm
dumb.
coming back
I'm
for
sorry.
everything.
That's dumb. It makes sense, but it's dumb.
No, but I
I'm
think
coming
like
back for everything, Mike.
I think
Good
David
luck.
Fincher. I think David Fincher is a top 3 director for me, like for all time. I mean, like he's got Gone Girl, Zodiac,
Oh, yeah.
Seven, Fight Club. Like he's got all these movies, and
Yeah,
this
He's-
movie
he
obviously.
doesn't- they're all
He-
bangers. He doesn't miss.
Dude, I swear, like all his movies are really good, and he likes to use the
Mhm.
same people. I mean, I think he's got like Brad Pitt in like 6 or 7 of his movies. So like the guy, the guy knows what he's doing. He knows what he wants. Like at the very beginning of the movie, with that like where Mark has the 5-minute conversation with his girlfriend, and then he's
Mhm.
walking home, and the credits are rolling, and then like that piano and everything like that. Like
Yup.
that
Yep.
every time I've seen this movie probably 8 or 9 times. I just love like from the start of it all the way to the end, and like the movie doesn't feel long. It's just like you know every beat that's gonna happen, and
Yeah.
and
The
still
one-
it's like
The one thing that they like don't, and obviously like Aiden said, it's adapted to film, but they don't really do justice is like in this movie they kind of make it seem like Zuckerberg crafted Facebook pretty quickly, when in
Yeah.
reality, like he was actually, the real story is like he was in his dorm room for like 6 months, and his parents actually thought he was dead and had to come
No.
visit him because no one was hearing from him. So like he was literally a fucking hermit, probably on Red Bull and Monster, just in there nonstop. Like Facebook is, I think it's the 2nd or 3rd largest thing like ever coded in the history of humanity.
Well, literally, you got to think it completely shaped our lives. Like, what
Yeah.
could you really think that changed our entire lives? Like, just the way how, like, just the lifestyle revolves around Facebook being the
About-
first social media
yeah.
platform. And I mean, you could say MySpace and all that, but that one is where that's
That's
peak.
where everything took off.
Yeah, that's where it actually took off, and every single person got a piece of it. Like they tried it out for themselves, and I mean, now fucking look at, we're making a podcast. This would have never even been a thing if Facebook was never invented.
It did
Which is
really
crazy to
kind of
think
like
about.
change the internet, because like I mean that was the first like there were no like online ads like that before. I mean there were, but it was more like phone book style but online, where this was like anyone can run a Facebook ad. Like that wasn't at the beginning, but like that also kind of changed things.
Oh, it's insane. Fuck, what was I gonna say? No, I'm just looking at David Fincher's movies, and there's literally not one bad movie.
No.
I
I'm
haven't
telling you.
seen The Game, and that's his 97 film, and I haven't seen Mank,
mm.
which I don't know what Mank is. It
I haven't
looks
seen
like a
those either.
horror movie.
Oh really?
But yeah, I mean, dude, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo,
Yeah,
Gone Girl 7, Fight Club, Social Network,
I'm telling you.
Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, he's
Zodiac.
easily top 3
Yep.
director for me, I think.
Yeah.
They're saying that he's supposed to film, he's supposed to direct World War Z2, but I mean, that's been too long. What
Yeah, I
else?
was looking up Facebook's current market cap, and it's 628 billion as of right now.
And at the end of the movie, it said 25 billion. So
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
the past
back in
12 years
2010.
alone, it
Yeah.
more than doubled, almost tripled.
Well, that's what I was
That's
thinking.
insane.
When Eduardo gets sucked and he's at like 0.03,
Gets
I'm like,
sucked.
damn. Yeah, because like that, I mean, think about all that. I mean, that's billions and billions and billions of dollars right there. So
He's an idiot. And what is Trey Parker still has? What was his percentage again?
Trey Parker's from South Park.
Not Trey Parker.
Sean Parker.
Sean Parker.
Sean Parker.
I just read Shay.
Trey Burke? What the fuck?
No, Trey Parker, the guy from South Park.
He's worth
South
2.8 billion right now.
Just
Sean
alone
Parker?
from fucking being involved in this.
Although Eduardo is worth 7.9, so somehow
He made 300K in one summer.
Yeah. Dude, there's
then
so many
too,
people in
like-
this movie, man. Rooney Mara. Josh Pence is in it.
Yeah, and
Dakota
then-
Johnson.
yeah.
Yeah, Army Hammer, obviously.
Yep.
Yeah, so Josh Pence was one of the Winklevoss twins, but he was from the neck down. And
Yeah.
Army Hammer, obviously.
Yeah,
both
no, so I
twins.
didn't know if you guys knew that his face was completely photoshopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking up
Well, and Josh
Twins.
Pence actually he pops up when he's trying to get past them to the bathroom, and they're both like guarding the bathroom because the girls are in there freshening up. That's him. but like so he's briefly in it, but the rest of the time it's like from his neck down.
Well, it's because they forgot to edit his face.
No, that it's meant to be him. Like it's just meant to be a random guy, like an extra. So so he was able to just do that really quick. But mainly his role was the Winklevoss twin from the body down. So Armie Hammer knew how to act off.
Funny ass last name.
Winklevoss.
Oh, Mr.
So I watched a crazy video where they were pointing out a bunch of stuff that like was missed. Obviously, you know how it takes place in like 2003.
Yeah.
When he's originally in the dorm room, a guy like his roommate is playing Fallout 3, which released in like 2005.
Oh
so
shit.
it wasn't actually like obviously it wasn't out during this time. So that's one thing. Yeah. Another one was obviously that guy wasn't a twin. Josh Pence, he's not a twin.
Yeah,
they
Armie
just
Hammer
had
doesn't,
Armie Hammer body the guy and then they edited his face.
The opposite way.
What?
Armie Hammer was the dude with the is the actor playing the role, and then Josh Pence is the body.
He plays the body for his twin.
Yes, yeah. Armie Hammer's doing both faces though. I think you said it the opposite way.
No, my bad.
No, you're good.
It's been a long day.
No, you're good. My favorite line from him, by the way, because we're talking about him really quick, is like when he's like, "I'm 6'5", 220, and there's two of me." I was like, "Damn, that's badass." They're talking about going over there and to fuck him up and everything like that. That's just so funny.
That was funny, yeah.
And that one brother from Get Out is in the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw him.
Yeah.
He's like one of the frat guys.
Yeah.
What else?
It's funny, you think about like all like the movies we watch now, like the bigger characters. If we look back like 10, 15 years, we'll see them in smaller roles, and like it's just cool to kind of see like their career built up over the years with stuff like that in movies like this.
Well, yeah, so the Winklevoss's like partner, that one guy, their best friend.
The smaller guy, yeah. What's his name again?
Max Minghella. This is his like real name, and he is in Handmaid's Tale. And so like, I mean, me and Andrew have seen this. Yeah, he's in the internship. Yeah, so me and Andrew have seen this movie a ton of times, and like Andrew recently watched the movie last week.
I didn't realize. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, like, oh, that's him. Like he's in a big role in Handmaid's Tale, so it's like, like Mike just said, you realize these guys. I mean, obviously, like Brenda Song's in this too, right? So,
I don't know if she really ever got big.
I mean, this
Disney.
She's pretty famous, I'd say.
But like, Zack and Cody and Wendy.
Dude, her character in this movie is fucking crazy.
She's sweet.
No. Imagine buying your girlfriend a silk scarf and her fucking burning it.
She's like, "Have you ever seen me wear a silk scarf?"
I would literally. I don't know what the fuck I would do,
dude. And then she comes back and she goes, "You're leaving?"
Say it on air.
Yeah. I like how he teased it up too. Like he's like,
"Clear it up now. I'm not gonna. I would never. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there."
I like how they teed it up earlier though. He's like, "What's my obsession with Asian girls?" And that shit was just funny.
I'd do anything for Brenda Song. I give her my shares of Facebook. No, but there's a lot of like minor details that are sweet. Another one that video pointed out was when he's coding all that stuff. He's like in Microsoft Word, Facebook has those red lines underneath, like it's a fake word, and like like it's a typo. And now you can literally type anything in, Facebook will immediately autocorrect because everyone knows about it. That's how big it is.
Can we talk about the scene where they're going for the two interns and they're making them code something within 10 minutes, and like every 3 minutes they give them a shot.
Shots.
Oh,
it looked like Fight Club.
Kelly. Those are those hackathons. Those actually do happen. I don't know how to that.
Oh, those are real?
Yeah, those are real.
Oh wow.
Like a lot of colleges will hold those for like up and coming software engineers, and sometimes big companies will like host them to try and snag like talent quickly.
I wonder if Facebook tried it then.
I'm sure they did and have and possibly do.
Was
we just watched them do it.
Did Mark Zuckerberg like have anything to do with this movie? Like, did he like say anything about it? Or he's like, no, you can just
for a while he was refusing to go see it, but he did eventually see it and he liked it. But he said the only thing,
like, I look sweet. He's like, I look like a badass.
Yeah, he claimed the most accurate he claimed the most accurate this movie was with his clothing though. So
the one scene where he goes to court in pajamas.
Yeah.
Well, that's because Sean wanted him to do that.
But I guess that's based on like that was real life. Like he actually did it. He said that was one of his biggest regrets out of like anything. Yeah.
Well, got them a bigger offer.
Biggest regrets was ever. Yeah. But I mean, it was just because he was trying to prove a point. He should have never listened to him, he said.
Yeah. And I like how this movie isn't completely in chronological order. Like,
it bounces around.
Bounces around. And I usually hate when movies do that, but the way this movie does it, and especially like with two different ones, like, you know, it could be confusing. He's being sued by two different people, two different groups, right? And they're showing both, and the way it's just bouncing back and forth between all three times.
Yeah, but
is really
I feel
cool.
like it does a good job of like keeping you not liking Mark Zuckerberg too much, because as those cases build, and he also builds Facebook, you're like, oh, this guy's kind of a dick.
Yeah. Well, so remember how I mentioned at the beginning, when he's walking back to his dorm and it's showing the credits and that piano noise is playing.
Mm-hmm.
So you hear it 3 times throughout the film, and it plays progressively throughout the film. And as we get farther throughout the movie, I read that the piano noise is farther and farther away to show you is him distancing himself from being an actual human being. So I didn't know that until I read up on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's more like
cool as fuck.
Not really as a human being, but just how, like I said, that
no, like his emotions and everything.
Yeah, no, but like he's isolating himself. Like he doesn't want anyone. It's his. Like this is mine. Yes. No one else can have it.
Yes.
Like he doesn't want anyone taking any credit for anything.
I wonder if he regrets that now. I'd be curious to know. I mean, he
claims he does regret what he did to his friend, but is that because of the movie put him on blast?
Reprogrammed him. They fucking made him.
They reprogrammed him to have emotion. And his iOS update.
They plugged him in and updated him.
Add empathy.
I mean, I'm sure he does, but I mean, then again, I mean, like, that's just how he is. Like, that's what he did. He created Facebook, and that's probably like fucking. He probably feels like.
Yeah, and it's
Oppenheimer created a nuclear bomb.
If you do look up, like,
he probably thinks so.
The founders of Facebook.
It's a great comparison.
Eduardo, Dustin, like those guys, I just did because on my like looking while we're talking here. Every single one of them is worth over $3 billion. So, I mean, it's not like, you know, they absolutely got snubbed and they're, you know.
Well, sure, but would you rather have 3 billion or, you know?
I don't know, anything over
3 billion.
Anything over $1 billion is kind of a silly amount of money.
I'll take a fucking $20 bill. I don't give a fuck.
You got to think
too. Ruin your lifelong friend group, but we all get 3 billion.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll see you in the next life.
I'm like, Aiden, if I get to 60 billion, but I only give you 3,
I'll be happy.
Yeah.
You got to think though, they're suing him back in 2007. You know what I mean? 2008. So it's. By then, at that time, they didn't have a bill, or at least
they didn't
like
have
$30.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But no,
now it's chump change.
I wonder what the settlement was.
For what?
I mean, it's still a good chunk of cash for. I mean,
well, I know at the beginning of the movie they say he's like suing him for like 600 million, I think, right?
Yeah,
but then again, I mean, they don't really show.
More.
Yeah, but they don't really show any work being done. I mean, you only really see what's his name coding, like Mark Zuckerberg creating the code for Facebook. But then once it's already established, you know, when they're like in their office and doing all that stuff, like, I mean, they don't show any of the work being done.
Yeah, they don't show. It goes from like it goes from the company's worth, you know, $100 to the company's worth $500 million. You kind of
just like that.
Miss the in between.
They're still doing the same shit. No one looks any different. They haven't like. They're obviously not dreading what they did.
Yeah.
But they're still working, doing all that. So that's funny.
Well, so him making that Hot or Not website, was that real? Do you guys think? Like, you know what I mean? At the very beginning, Smash
Yes, I believe it was. I don't know if it was to that degree, but that did kind of give him.
Do you think he was really writing a blog while doing it too?
I don't know about that fact, but I do know that
because it really would still be out.
Yeah, like the thing with the Hot or Not to a degree was real. I don't know about the blog though.
Sure.
That might have just been for
I assumed it was, because I'd be like, this would be crazy thing to come up with for this story.
Created Tinder before
before it was a thing.
Gets fucking broken up with and decides, all right, I'm gonna go be worth, you know, $90 billion.
Yeah.
But there's
I wish I fucking did that, man.
I know, where's that motivation?
Oh, damn it.
I just wanted to fucking get stronger, let alone fucking get 90 billion, whatever the fuck it is.
But there's a lot of like sweet things that David Fincher put in this film. You know, when they're in the office before like that great Andrew Garfield scene when he like freaks out and gets
Almost
sucked.
watched this one.
Right at an hour and 46 minutes, I believe. That's exactly when, like, when they hit 1,046 users, it's exactly at an hour and 46 into the film.
Oh, that's pretty
So
cool.
that scene's in
Oh
there.
wow,
Yep.
I didn't know
If you
that.
do the math, like if you actually sit there and do the math on all their takes, it adds up to like 105.75%. So like their script
Oh.
writer didn't obviously do his math.
Do the math.
Yeah. What was the other one? That
Which
outside
it's funny
scene
because yeah,
when they're
where
like
they're
you see
talking
their
outside
breath.
the
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all CGI breath. And once you see it, you'll never be able to not watch that. Like and be like,
Oh shit.
yeah. So it was cold, but not enough to like get the visual for like the steam coming off of their breasts.
Wow, I did
what
not
was
know
another
that.
one? There's another something
That's funny.
stupid. Yeah.
Justin Timberlake wasn't actually doing cocaine.
No, he was doing cocaine.
Yeah, it was doing cocaine.
Probably
Like,
fucking-
we got the role for you.
I'm at underage girls and cocaine. Call me in.
Oh, but then there's another take where at the beginning, when Eduardo comes to like have a beer with Mark and he gets him two. He gets two beers, one for Mark, one for him.
Mhm.
And then when Mark, after they finish that one, Mark goes to the fridge and gets just himself a beer. He didn't think of Eduardo. So that just shows you
Ah,
how he
Yeah.
doesn't give a shit about anyone else.
I noticed that.
Just self-centered.
I did not notice
I,
that.
I fucking love I almost said Peter Parker's character. Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, no, he's sweet. I think that's everyone's like favorite character because realistically, what did he do wrong? Besides when he was feeding chicken.
Yeah, well, I mean, he got fucked, zucked,
He
I
did.
guess.
100%.
But also, like, I do like the line where he's like, you're the business head of the company and you sign the fucking papers without reading them. But
Mhm.
also, he trusted his boy, so it's
yeah,
like,
I mean, you shouldn't have to do that.
you should trust.
Well, so
should-
would you guys have fallen for that, or would you guys have brought in lawyers and everything? I mean,
100%
come on,
brought in a lawyer.
honestly.
Well,
Honestly,
And again, this is back in the day where you don't even think of that.
I don't know. I don't think I would.
I wouldn't have think to.
I
honestly,
wouldn't
have
think to
Even-
do that. I would think like
I
this
wouldn't
is
have.
my
You gotta
buddy.
think, dude. This is his best
Exactly,
friend.
and that's the thing is that like there's nothing like we have. Oh, look at this, and we have something to look back on. But back then, what did they have really to look at?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
they didn't have any.
Yeah.
They couldn't recall on anything.
and especially when
Getting
you're
zucked
young,
wasn't a term.
yeah, and when you're young, you even think of that less. Like you think like, oh, my friend, is gonna at least. If this was two 50-year-olds, you got a little bit more life experience. You might be like, shady business
Yeah,
deals.
no,
but
they're
at,
literally in college. They're like
yeah, but
20-some years
at
old.
20 something years old, you're thinking like, oh, my shares aren't gonna go from 30% to 0.003.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least if they
Yeah.
could have zucked him a little less hard, diluted it from, I don't know, 30 to 25.
Yeah.
Sickening,
I think
man.
he was getting like 34 or something like that. I don't know.
Well, they upped it at first. It went from 30 to 34 point something, like making them
Yeah.
think like they fluffed them up. Like, oh, like we want you to think that.
Exactly. Yeah. So they're fluffing him up already and hyping him up, and then, you know what I mean? So they're not like, hey, this is serious stuff. You should read it
You
over.
just zuck them over.
Yeah, they zucked him hard.
What
And
he
like, too,
should've-
go ahead, Mike.
No, I was gonna say what he should have done is just pulled all his money out after they did that.
Yeah.
sold,
Really.
sold all of his shares.
Well, wouldn't have been
Well,
worth.
he halted. He froze all the accounts.
Yeah. Well,
then-
too,
Go ahead.
I thought that scene at the end where like, he goes up to Mark and he breaks his laptop and stuff like that. I've seen this movie 8 or 9 times. I think I've seen that scene probably 30 times. I always run
Yeah,
across
that's
it
a
on
great
YouTube
scene.
and I watch it. It's like 2 minutes long. It's like crazy. I mean, the acting is so good in it.
And what's he
There's
say
an-
to Sean? He's like, I
I like standing next to you. It makes me feel big or something
Yeah.
like that, or strong or something.
As
Or,
a,
you
as a
know,
line.
like that scene, like they broke like multiple computers. I don't know if you guys ever read or heard about that.
I did
But
not.
there was
Oh,
like
so
it wasn't just one take. He broke like maybe like 10 plus like MacBooks or whatever the hell he was doing.
Yeah.
It's
Well, I
funny.
wonder too this time around. I'm like, why is he in New York? Like, did he actually think it was the best for the company at that time, or was he
Well, I
like
mean, you gotta
stubborn in
think
his
that-
ways?
But at that point in like 2003, by that point, it was probably before 2010. It was like maybe 2008, 2006. When,
Yeah, I think it
what time
was-
frame are they in
I think-
New York? But I mean, that's you just got to think
I think
that's
it's
the big hub.
2004 in
Apple's
the
up and
summer.
coming. Windows,
Yeah.
Dude,
is
Apple
going,
was already
Microsoft.
established.
Yeah, but I'm saying they're releasing newer products.
Yeah, it was.
Tech
It was.
giants at that
Yeah,
point still.
Silicon Valley was still only like a couple companies then. It wasn't like what it is today.
Mm-hmm.
So
And that was really Bill Gates in the movie, right?
No, that was all right.
it
So
not?
no, there's another thing. They got the #1 impersonator for Bill Gates, and they had him play him, but his voice didn't match up with Bill Gates. So they hired a person that
Oh.
does a dub of Bill Gates. So they had someone record the voice, and then they
and
put
then
that guy's body and dubbed his voice.
Oh
It
wow.
was two different people.
I
playing
thought this
that
whole
guy.
time it was him.
No, I always thought too until I
Oh,
literally read
shit.
about that. I was like, no way. Like, it
Oh
seemed-
damn, I
How's
didn't know
that
that.
even a
Yeah, that got
fucking-
me there.
How is that even a job? #1 Bill Gates impersonator.
Yeah.
Clearly it makes him get him
Shit,
movies.
they got him in a
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
I got one
This
big
one-
role.
This movie didn't win anything, did it? I think it was snubbed.
Oh really?
I don't know. I'm not
I
sure.
don't think so.
Oh no, I got an Academy Award for best writing.
I was gonna say it's gotta win something. I mean, that's
No,
crazy.
yeah.
if it
I think
didn't.
it just didn't get something for like best picture, which makes sense because it's nothing
Oh really?
like beautiful.
Just a bunch of nerds on a computer most of the time.
Yeah, literally. Like it's not something that's gonna
Um,
win best picture.
Yeah, and then too, I thought this time around too, I'm like, all right, Eduardo made 300K in one summer, and Mark got the $1,000 from, and then he goes over to Mark's apartment or his dorm, and he's talking to him, and Mark's like, hey, we need another $200 for the server or whatever, and like Eduardo almost seems like he's pandering over it, like, dude, you just made 300K. Like, I guess he didn't know how big this would be, but I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
And then
Sounds
yeah,
like my
he's talking
friend
about,
Aiden.
yeah, really. And then he's talking about getting punched by the Phoenix, right?
Mhm.
I'm shocked that like Zuckerberg cared that much about these clubs or whatever I mean, what cost him the relationship of his girlfriend and
Yeah, and he was the whole time, he's trying to pretend like it's not a big deal too in the movie. He's like, oh yeah, I mean, if you only make it that far, that's fine. Like it does, he was like being condescending about it the whole time. But I mean, the whole idea with Facebook was to be an exclusive club at the beginning.
yeah, with school emails that like,
Yeah.
you need to be invited to, you know what I mean? Like there's a ton of these things, especially if you don't know anything about the story going into this movie, you'd think like, yeah, like that's all this movie was about was these fucking clubs that he's obsessed with.
Well,
this
remember the
degree.
girl that Sean Parker's with? When they like wake up, when they introduce him to the story,
Yeah, isn't that Dakota Johnson or something?
Dakota Johnson, and
Yeah.
she goes to what, Stanford or something like that.
Stanford.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
and they're like, yeah, Stanford just got Facebook like 2 weeks ago. So like,
Yeah.
remember when he was just going school to school to school?
Which is
Yeah, and then it
neat.
went
That's-
across the,
That's a good way to do
but
it.
then it went to
Exactly,
Oxford
yeah.
and everything and
It's
all that shit.
crazy.
Yeah, and then he explained how he got to what was it, Oregon or BYU or something like that, where he surrounded all the other schools with it to then get into their school or something like that. One of the schools had their own kind
Oh,
of
yeah,
system
yeah.
like that. So, and then too, they didn't really show when they moved from just being like where you had to be invited and his only school counts.
That's
to,
what we were
like,
saying. Yeah. When it went from like startup company to hi, we're worth $500 million.
Yeah, I
We have
know.
this
It's kind of
huge office.
Rush it. And the other thing is that like, I mean, in real life, he never broke up with his girlfriend and created Facebook. Like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was dating her, and then they ended up getting married once it was already established and all that.
Oh,
I think they're
actually.
still married. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I mean,
I didn't know
it's
that
a
either.
good point for a movie. Like,
Mhm.
hey,
Yeah.
like the writers definitely knew what they were doing.
No, and watching this for the first time, I really didn't know much about him. I mean, still to this day, I really don't know a ton about him.
Mhm.
But like I think I took for most of this film, I took it for its word, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I know it's not like obviously it's stupid to do that because most movies based off a true film, unless they're in documentary formats, right? Like they're not really that.
It's based off a book.
Oh, is it?
I think that book's like, obviously it's romanticized.
Oh,
and-
the accidental
Correct.
billionaires.
yeah, it's something.
Oh, really?
Stupid.
No,
It's
that's the
something
book.
stupid like that. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you mean accidental billionaires?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
was-
I didn't
he
mean
was
to
the
make
youngest
$1 billion,
billionaire.
but I did. Oh, I
Youngest
guess.
billionaire ever,
Oh, I wish I
commercial
didn't.
Yeah,
No,
and he
what's
still
her
has
name?
that, right?
No, what's her name took that?
See,
One
I
of the-
heard she was lying though. Like she
Oh,
didn't
was
actually have
she?
a billion.
One of the
I don't know.
Jenners.
One of
Yeah.
the what?
Kylie.
One of the Kardashian Jenner,
Yeah.
someone from that film.
Fuck 'em.
What
Yeah.
about him?
Apparently Kylie
Fuck
was
it.
the youngest billionaire at 19, but I had since heard that maybe that she was
not true.
lying about her.
No, she was the youngest female self-made.
Ah.
Oh, okay. I thought she was just youngest billionaire, like period.
No,
Good for
Okay.
her then. Good for
Oh,
her
okay,
then.
okay.
self-made.
Yeah, because
Hey,
I
good
think it's
for
all those,
hey Kylie. You know I didn't mean that.
Yeah,
I'm really sorry.
Aiden didn't mean that.
I
You
did
can
not
still
mean
come
that.
over.
I'm just doing it. I'm just like I'm no better than TMZ and all those guys. You know,
you're about to make
I'm
Kendall Jenner
poor
jealous.
and, I'm just really trying to get on my feet. So
Yeah. You don't want to make Kendall Jenner.
don't ever count me out. And
Yeah,
Kendall,
Kendall's about to be hurt.
don't get me
He's
started.
begging. He's begging you, basically.
Uh
Him?
let's see here. I got some interesting trivia also. I know a lot of this episode's been trivia, but I mean, like, this movie is really fascinating with its behind the scenes shit. Most of these Aiden hasn't said either. During one of the depositions, it is mentioned that the invention of Facebook made by Mark Zuckerberg is the biggest thing on campus. That included 19 Nobel Prize, like the 15 winners, the 2 future Olympians, and a movie star. And they asked, like, well, who's the movie star? Do you guys know who that was?
Just
Apparently it's Natalie Portman.
damn.
It's like she was going to school
Oh.
with them then at the time too. And apparently she was questioned about this movie, like if she knew anything about Mark and stuff like that, but she didn't really comment on it.
What's she doing at Harvard?
I don't know. Well, I think like Conan went to Harvard.
But she was an actress at such a young age.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I
because
think
how
her
old
first
was she in
movie
the
is Leon the
prequels?
Professional. No, she was in Leon the Professional as like a kid. I
Hey,
think that's
oh,
her
really?
debut.
I'll apply for Harvard. Should I do it?
It can't
Yeah, if you
hurt.
You're not
should
gonna
see
get
if you can
in.
Get my master's.
You'd be fucking
I'll
doing
put-
the fresh
eh,
cakes.
Mike,
You're gonna
if
walk
it-
in like Mark Zuckerberg. He's be like, what are you doing?
I'm gonna
man?"
be
He's
at the,
like,
I'm about to
"I'm
carry
gonna
a
start
fucking
it. I'm
chicken
gonna,
around.
I'm gonna
for a
change
week,
the
man.
world."
Mike, if you apply to Harvard, I'll apply to Stanford.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually,
see who
I'll-
makes it
let's-
first. I'll
let's
do Yale.
flip-flop. I like Stanford.
I'll make a
better.
donation of
Mark
$1 million.
Zuckerberg originally planned to never see this movie. He ended up taking several of his employees to see it. He later remarked that despite some of the film's inaccuracies, they got his clothing right, which I
He
mentioned.
takes some
earlier.
employees there. They're probably
Yeah.
like this, looking at
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, like, is this
Fuck.
real?
Yeah, they're like, let me see my contract again, please.
What was
If I
my
quit,
share
if I work for
percentage?
Twitter.
Yeah.
Fuck.
He's like,
I
I
just
sucked
saw-
him way harder than
You
that.
know, guy, hey, he's just looking at him. He's like,
I just
the whole
saw
time.
Twitter actually
Don't
that
look cool.
deal. That's supposed to go through tomorrow with Musk.
Musk.
Yeah,
Oh,
he'll
really?
be tomorrow. He'll be the
Bro,
owner.
He's
Of
turning
Twitter?
into a meme now.
Yeah,
man.
he walked in today. I saw it on the on
To
article.
let that
He,
sink in.
yeah, he walked in with a fucking sink into the
Stupid,
headquarters
he's a
today.
clown.
So don't
Jeez.
or let this sink in.
Damn. Hit him with the dad joke
Yeah,
on the
hit him
first
with
day.
yeah. I mean, he spent 44 billion.
I
you
just
know.
want to bring something up now because I'm not gonna be
Go
able to not say it.
Yeah, no, go for it.
Elon Musk, how like someone asked him like, why do you have so many kids? He's like, someone's got to occupy Mars. Like that's his goal. He's just gonna keep pumping kids out so he can just send them all up to Mars. That's terrifying.
Dad, I want.
And then they were laughing at him, like thinking that he was gonna break, and he was dead serious. They said that he didn't laugh after he said that. So he's being dead ass serious.
Dude is strange. Lives in like a fucking. You ever seen what he lives in? It's like
Nah,
a
it's probably
house.
badass. It's probably a
No.
coffin.
No, it's like a house smaller than ours. It's like 1,000
Yeah,
square
it's
It's
like
feet.
a
under-
town hall
yeah, and it's an
looking.
underground base, 46 acres
Yeah.
long. Probably like the damn bat cave.
Yeah.
Secret underground bunker.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Jesse Eisenberg, who's diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, said in an interview that one of the hardest things about this role was having to deliberately speak and behave in a manner he had to struggle against in his own personality and his entire life. So that's pretty interesting. David Fincher's favorite line in this film is, "I'm just checking your math on that." Yes, I got the same thing. Which that always makes me laugh too.
18,000 plus the 1,000.
Yeah, plus 1,000. That's 19,000. And then he just stops it.
He looks at him. He's like, "All right, let me check that."
Yeah, he fucking writes it down. That shit always gets me too. Jesse Eisenberg and Andrew Garfield became good friends during this film. According to Eisenberg, the dramatic rivalry between their two characters was hard for the two because it affected them emotionally.
You can tell that they do a good job of like going at it with each other.
Yeah, like Andrew Garfield's got these like red eyes, like he's going through it and shit like that. Like it is really
Yeah.
believable. He steals it, honestly.
He does, without a doubt.
Yeah. And Jesse Eisenberg does so good. I mean, he's literally playing a fucking robot, right? And he's still delivering on his like emotions and shit like that. You know how he feels and stuff. Because you gotta think during these depositions, he feels like he's being betrayed too in a way for some reason. After casting, David Fincher forbidden any principal actors from meeting their real life counterparts. He didn't want it to affect his film.
Oh, in case Eisenberg
that's
runs
pretty-
into Zuckerberg.
I guess so. Don't meet the Zuck. The real Mark
He's like Heath
Zuckerberg.
Ledger. He's gonna become Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
He's gonna take counseling classes. And
Is
shit.
he, he's gonna come in.
Oh
and
God,
Is just gonna I need to be plugged in.
he's a fucking algorithm. He's like
yeah.
eating fucking drinking motor oil for breakfast and shit.
The real Mark Zuckerberg had never had an Appletini before seeing this film. After he tried one, he liked it so much he made the Appletini Facebook's official drink. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. That's my last trivia fact. I don't think I've ever had an Appletini.
I don't think I have either.
I think it's just a martini, but without olive juice. You just use
with an apple.
with an apple.
Do we want to hit it with?
But then again, what I don't think they put actual apple juice in it. Because what fucking bar has apple juice on hand?
Shut the fuck up, Aiden.
I feel like that's a thing, Aiden.
Shut up, please.
Apple.
I mean, apple juice ain't that rare.
Yeah.
Appletini,
That's.
But I'm saying you're gonna go to what's it called?
Huckleberry Finn to go fucking pick apples off the tree.
You're gonna go to fucking O'Malley's and they're gonna say, "Oh yeah, we got apple juice back here." No.
Appletini, that's like a Sex in the City drink, isn't it?
I think
like
I'm gonna ask for that the next time I go to a bar, just to prove you wrong, or be proved wrong.
I don't know if
It's a
O'Malley's would have
win-win.
it.
They better. My boy Brian, that's where he's at right now. That's why he couldn't make it.
I mean, we
He's
can
on
definitely
a
get it.
shift.
No,
We can get it added in the menu.
Brian's back, saving the world.
Oh, again?
He sucked. He sucked.
What's he saving it from
He's
now?
saving the world by one beer at a time.
Yeah.
Getting these beers off. the
Earthquakes in Africa.
Yeah, last time he was stopping the hurricane with Aiden, and they really fucking fumbled the bag on that one. So
No, we did it.
Well,
Yeah, so there's always gonna be casualties in war.
oh, all right.
We tried our best.
are you guys ready to get into ratings?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
I mean, I guess I can kind of start off.
Okay.
David Fincher, one of the best directors of all time. You know, everyone's seen at least one of his movies, and you can definitely tell the difference when you know that it's a David Fincher film compared to any other film.
Yeah.
I enjoy this movie. I like how I like how they tell the story, like we just said. It's kind of rushed. They don't really show like them doing the physical work on creating Facebook. They only show Mark Zuckerberg doing it at the beginning. Jesse Eisenhower makes him look like a badass because
Eisenberg.
Eisenberg.
Eisenberg. What the fuck did I just call him?
Eisenhower.
Eisenhower.
President?
Oh, the guy from Breaking Bad. Eisenberg.
Eisenberg. Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah. Jesse Zuckerberg. Whatever. I mean, his character's sweet. It makes him look like a badass, which I mean, he's really not. He's just a fucking nerd that ruined the world. I like my analogy that he's just like Oppenheimer. He kind of created the nuclear bomb. So that's his nuclear bomb. That's the modern day nuke. But this film is good, man. You could always watch it, no matter how many times you've seen it. It's still a great watch. I'd probably give this movie a solid 92. 92 out of 100.
Okay.
Always a good rewatch. Great film.
And by the way, do any of you guys have Facebook or use it?
Nope.
Okay, I don't have it either.
I
I've never had
have it,
one.
but
I have it.
Okay.
don't use it.
You don't use it?
No.
I
I
still,
think
uh,
I
I
have
need to make
people
one
from
for
school on it.
Marketplace, but
Oh,
I
okay.
haven't done that yet.
To use
I-
Facebook Marketplace, do you need a Facebook account? Probably, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Okay.
still
And then if
I
you have an
just-
account with no friends, no one will buy off of you because they're weird.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I've never used Facebook Marketplace. I've heard like it's really handy and nice to have, but I don't have
It's
a
just
Facebook
like offer
account,
up
so-
and eBay and
Oh, okay.
other stuff
they're all-
places.
Okay. Yeah, I can go next. Like Aiden said, David Fincher, he doesn't miss. From the piano at the beginning of the movie to like the very end, I always just enjoy, and I'm like enthralled and like just in the movie every single time. And I've seen it so many times now. You'd think I'd be sick of it, especially the ending, but I don't know. It's, I'm not a huge Mark Zuckerberg guy. I don't know much about him. I still don't. Just from mainly most of the stuff I know is from this movie. I can quote this movie pretty well. And like things like that really tell about how amazing this film is, and the creative minds behind it, and how the actors were able to deliver on all their parts to a T. So I really like this movie a lot. It's up there with some of my favorite movies. So I'm gonna give this movie a 94. I really like this movie a lot. So I was excited to see. I didn't know what the Rotten Tomatoes scores were before we pulled it up for the pod. But 96% critic score, like that makes a lot of sense to me. So
okay,
yeah.
Well, I will go third and let Andrew finish this off, as he always does.
Thanks, Mike.
But I think this is my second or third time watching this movie, and it's been a while since I watched it last time, and honestly, it didn't disappoint. It was just like watching it the first time because I forgot the plot. Honestly, God, I'm awful remembering quotes.
Yeah, how do you forget the plot?
He thought maybe he was making
whatever they're gonna, what website they're gonna make now.
Plot's a bad word. Just like the ending, I should say. Is
fair.
Like I can honestly, God, unless it's like Step Brothers or like something I've watched a million times, don't ask me to quote a movie or who's in a movie. And that's really shitty to say being on a movie podcast, but that's just the honest to God truth. But yeah, obviously Andrew Garfield, probably one of, I would say, top 10 favorite actors, probably even top 5 actors. He absolutely fucking kills it, steals the show for me. Jesse Eisenberg, great fucking actor as always. Both of them are in a lot of really good films. I didn't like Justin Timberlake's character that much. I think that's more so just the writing.
I don't think you're really supposed to like him though.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of just my bias with that. I think he does a good job acting, if that helps it, but I didn't like his character that much. But besides that though, I thought the pacing was really good, and I really like how we talked about this earlier, Josh, how they were going back and forth with like the different, I guess you want to call it, different plots, and just like the time jumps, and it didn't cause you to feel like what the fuck is going on in this movie. It was more so like like you're so attached and like you're so like you want to know what's going on so much that it doesn't matter what's going on. You just want to keep on like seeing what's happening. So I think they did a really good job of blending just the different plots and just like the time periods throughout the movie, and obviously it blended really well and it finished really well together. So with that, I'm gonna go a 91 out of 100. I think this is a really solid movie, and I can't say it's up there for me in a sense of like all-time movies, but it's a great watch, and it's super rewatchable too. So I think that's why I'm gonna go above a 90.
Yeah, and I just want to say before Andrew says this thing, because Mike, you just hit on it really well, is in a lot of movies or shows like Breaking Bad and everything, I rooted for Walter White throughout the entire thing. Throughout the entire movie, I was rooting for Walter White. So like, and I know you're not supposed to, like, you're supposed to start hating him or whatever as he gets, as he's Breaking Bad per se. But like in a lot of these movies, I'm always rooting for like the bad guys in a way. And like, this is one of the few movies though, where like our protagonist is supposed to be Mark Zuckerberg. And I'm like, fuck this guy. And I'm totally like with Eduardo. So the fact that a movie can do this and like me be so like attached to the movie and enjoy it so much and can get me to feel this way about a character is really cool. So
you just want to like dump a bucket of water on him, watch him fritz out.
Fritz out, yeah. Yeah,
Josh,
his wires pop out.
Maybe you're a bad guy, Josh. Have you ever thought of that?
Maybe I am.
He's a small guy.
Hey, look in the mirror.
He's a bad guy.
Really,
I'll look in the mirror. I'll look in the mirror for a few hours and think about it.
Okay, thank you.
Actually, what you just said there, Josh, is perfect, because that's kind of what I was gonna say. And I think it also adds on with what Mike said too, like both of you guys. This movie does a good job of you starting to hate Jesse Eisenberg, even though like most movies or shows, I'm kind of the same way. You're not supposed to, but they do a good job of that because of how the time jumps are, and you get to see these court cases and stuff like that are slowly building to make him less and less likable, and it makes you want to dump a bucket of water on his head and watch him short out.
Yeah.
But no, overall, I like this movie a lot. I think this is one of the ones that I threw on there for us to do, just because I don't know, I like the whole journey with it. Yeah, you don't get to see everything, but you get to see a fair amount, even if it's like dramatized. And also, one thing to note: the music in this movie is really good. Like the soundtrack.
It's amazing.
Oh, it also won original best score.
Yeah, the score is
okay.
amazing.
That makes
It
sense.
really
Yeah.
is.
It was really solid. I actually am giving the same score. I write it down beforehand, so I try not to copy. But as Aiden, hitting it with a 92 on this one. I like this.
So we're all in the 90s.
Yeah, definitely worth the watch. I'm glad to see we're all kind of on the same page here.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think I want to like this. This is one of those movies where everyone should watch at least once.
Yeah.
You know, like I mean, I'm sure you can ask anyone, hey, have you ever seen The Social Network? They'll probably be like, what's that? Say the book that where they make Facebook, and they're like, oh yeah, I've seen that. Like it's one of those movies where everyone's seen it, and I believe that's how you know you got a good movie.
Yeah.
But I mean, then again, it is you're curious to see like how it is, and wow,
Yeah, that
I'm
was
going through
smooth.
puberty.
Yeah.
Mom,
Mom, it's happening.
oh man, I gotta go, guys. But I think it is good, just like the way that, like you said, you could pick up and watch it. You've seen it 10 times, you've seen it once. It's always
Yeah.
a good watch. So
It's a good movie.
yeah.
Yeah, but that was our rewind on the Social Network. On Friday we got Rings of Power. What is it called?
Oh,
Aiden's
come on
leading
now.
that episode.
Power
so.
of the Rings. Yeah, so I just want to explain it really quick. Me, Mikey, and Andrew have not seen the show. Andrew recently just started watching the Lord of the Rings movie for the first time.
I've
Me and
seen
Mike
2 so far. I
two
haven't
so
watched the
far. You're
third.
watching the extended cuts.
Yeah.
So they're long.
There's
me
no
and
way
Mike
I-
haven't
good.
started yet.
Yeah, I like it a lot
They
so
are.
far.
They're good.
Yeah. That original
Especially
trilogy
look at the
supposed to be
date.
great.
Look at the date of when they drop. It makes you enjoy them even more.
90s, right? For
Late
first two at
90s.
least. Yeah.
I thought it was early 2000s.
I thought the first one was like 99.
Maybe it's the
or
extended. I'm watching the. Oh, okay. And I'm watching the
Hobbits
extended
2000s.
cuts, so maybe that's why.
Oh,
Then
okay.
Hobbits also came out. I think that last one came out like 2010 or something like that. Not
Yeah.
that long
Gotcha.
ago.
Well, so that will be like an Andrew or not Andrew. I'm sorry. There'll be like an Aiden and Brian kind of episode. Sorry, guys.
And we're gonna
with
have
a
my
couple
Uncle
guests.
Charlie on there.
Yep, yeah. With a few, we've got a
Charlie
couple guests
Bucket.
taking our spots. We'll probably hit it with some movie news so you can still hear our beautiful voices.
Yeah, just in
With
case.
maybe some
you need to-
ASMR at the beginning.
My
Yeah,
voice
but
cracking.
yeah. So that's what we're doing on Friday. So that's pretty exciting. So
I do want to add
Um,
one more thing about Social Network.
go ahead.
I also
Fire
read
off.
about Justin Timberlake playing Sean Parker and how like you got to think how much older he is than the rest of the cast. And they're supposed to be in their early 20s. I guess he went and lost like 20 some pounds to like make himself look like how Sean Parker would have actually looked during that time period. And
Oh, wow.
I guess you don't really think about it. Like he definitely fits the part.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Justin Timberlake does look younger for his age, but I
Yeah.
mean, that's just something to know. Like, because you don't even think about it until you hear that, what I just said. You're like, oh, I guess that's a possibility.
Makes
Man,
sense.
I don't care what type of role he's in. If you have Justin Timberlake on a movie, you better have him sing. And they missed with that. That's
Dude,
why-
that last scene though, when like
You
they
need
get
the
raided at the
Backstreet
party
Boys
and he's
back.
up there with those like young interns. I'm like, damn, he looks like he's like 12 years older than them.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. So
Well,
that was funny.
because the girl at the end, everybody's like 21. She's like 21. I'm sorry, I lied.
Yeah.
When the
Hmm.
cops shine the light on her.
And then that's when he gets out because
He
he's
just-
older
he
than
just,
them.
He just looks like to the side. He's like shakes his head.
Yeah, he's like,
Fucking
I'm so fucked.
weirdo
Yeah.
character, I should say.
Yeah.
He's not even a Backstreet Boy. He's in sync. I'm an idiot.
In sync. Yeah. Today was not your episode.
No, I
Yeah.
gotta go to
Uh,
bed.
but
You weren't
Friday
in
is-
sync today, and you weren't in sync. It's okay.
Yeah, sorry.
We're in sync. But all right,
As you can
boys.
see, I got zucked today.
You got zucked. I'll talk to you boys later.
All right.
All right,
Yep.
peace out.
See you boys.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Back streets back.
All right.
I'll see you. Bye.